Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going over a pretty cool deck that I used to play all the time, Heimer Vi. Now this is a little bit of a twist since we're playing in Targon instead of Ionia. Now Vi is pretty powerful compared to Leona, which is what I used last time. Vi is able to challenge things. She is 4 health and tough, which makes her super hard to kill. And she combos pretty well with some of Targon's cards where she didn't as well as with Ionia. And one of those is Mentor. Mentor not only gives her a buff when he's played or when he supports her, but the gems each give her 2 power because 1 for the casting trigger, 2 for the gem's actual ability. And if you do manage to support Vi with the support ability on Mentor, it gives her 2 health. That's a 6 health tough dude. That is impossible to kill. So Vi combos really well with the card like Mentor that we only get from Targon. Now, Flash of Brilliance also is a card that just got reworked. It went from 4 mana down to 3 mana again, so now we can use it in conjunction with Bastion and Heimerdinger, if you know what that combo is. Basically, Bastion is there to protect Heimerdinger at 3 mana, so basically you play Heimerdinger turn 5, you have Bastion, and then you have Flash of Brilliance for a free turret. Now, Spacey Sketcher also gives us a 2 mana plus 2 health and spell shield card as one of the Celestials you can invoke. That's pretty powerful. It's not nearly as good as like the Bastion, but it works pretty well. We have 2 Guiding Touch, 2 Mystic Shot, some Get Exciteds, 1 Hush, Static Shock, and Tri-Beam Populator. All very good removal cards, especially Tri-Beam and Populator. Tri-Beam kills something, gives you an extra unit, and makes a unit with Heimerdinger. Now, Solar Priestess, I also like to talk about. It's a 3 mana for Tri-Beam. It makes a whole ton of spells that all work very well with Heimerdinger as well. And besides that, it's just the regular Targon and stuff you'd expect to see, like Sunburst, the Mind Splitter, and Star Shaping. Now, I think I might add an extra Sunburst because that card just seems so good in a lot of matchups recently. We have 2 Star Shaping. I'd also like to talk about that while I go down here and add in a Starburst. Sunburst. Star Shaping is a pretty great card. It gives us finishers. It gives us a lot of flexibility. I'm also going to add a Mystic Shot here, guys, instead of Guiding Touch. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoy the gameplay, and I'll talk about the deck more then. See you guys. Alright, so getting on to the game, we're going up against a Bilgewater PNZ Nautilus deck. So the idea behind their deck is probably going to be to turbo out Nautilus by using Bilgewater and PNZ draw cards. Oh, I forgot to mention, this is a pre-recorded game. That's how I knew that. You guys are just seeing Nautilus for the first time. And so the idea here is we're going to want to probably kill him before he gets out Nautilus. I mean, the sheer number of sea monsters he could have overwhelms our... even just our value from Heimerdinger. Even with a card like the Infinite Mind Splitter, we really don't want to see that because, you know, the Infinite Mind Splitter can take out 2 of his dudes and block a sea monster. We still have to deal with the rest of his sea monsters, and that just... we probably just lose in the long term. So, looking at our starting hand, we had a Heimerdinger and a Bastion, as well as a Flash of Brilliance, and that was an auto keep in this opposing matchup or whatever. It's a keep because we get Heimerdinger out, we can protect him, and then we can also get a free turret with the Flash of Brilliance, and that just matters a whole lot. We want to be able to get out some of that value, so we're going to play a little bit of a late Priestess, right? Hoping to get a... ooh, interesting. So we're going to take the Warrior here because Rain of the Stars, we don't really want another Heimerdinger. That's going to be too slow. Meteor Shower doesn't have any targets really to kill stuff. And even if it does, we still would rather have the Warrior for that. Just in the short term, the Warrior is going to deal some damage. We want the body, especially in this matchup where he won't have a lot of answers for it except for Thermo Beam. If he's killing the Warrior with Thermo Beam, he's not targeting Heimerdinger with it. So, I don't know. Even if he doesn't have Thermo Beam, the Warrior just kind of is going to create a lot of value, and their opponent's going to have a hard time dealing with it. So now we can play Heimerdinger, and the most important thing to note here is if our opponent just passes, we can't play Heimerdinger. The biggest factor in this matchup is protecting Heimerdinger. He is going to make turrets for us. We're going to be able to remove our opponent's board or just deal damage to his face with our Mystic Shot. We're going to be able just to overrun him with our turrets. So here he plays a a non-traditional way to kill Heimerdinger, a challenger unit, but we do have Mystic Shot to kill it, so we're not too worried yet. And of course, we can save both Bastions, which in this matchup, since he's PNZ, is going to matter a lot. The fact here, we've kind of just won the game. We have 2 Bastions. Our opponent so far has spent no spells to try and kill our stuff. Clearly, we haven't played much, but the chance of him having removal is not too high. I mean, he's playing PNZ, so having a Get Excited or a combination of things, even just a Thermal Beam, could really take out our game. We do open attack here because I want to keep up both Bastions, because he could have a Get Excited into a Thermal Beam, and if we play one Bastion, or sorry, if we play a Mystic Shot into the attack, probably killing the 3-2 and getting another unit, making our attack super strong. Even if we do that, we give our opponent an opening to kill Heimerdinger pretty easily, and we just cannot risk that. So here our opponent's going to make it rain. We're just going to let it slide. No reason not to. And then our opponent's going to, I believe they're going to make a rain Mystic Shot to try and finish off Heimerdinger. We're going to get a pretty sweet Bastion here. We are going to Mystic Shot their 1-1 to make sure they can't pass and just force us out of some mana. Because of how much mana our opponent has, they can't Get Excited Thermo Beam. They can't Mystic Shot. They couldn't double Mystic. Double Mystic Shot wouldn't even work here because the one Bastion would save Heimerdinger from total lethal. Our opponent does make a mistake here. Playing the Mystic Shot before the Make Rain was, or after the Make Rain was a mistake. Anyway, we're going to be able to protect Heimerdinger, kill their unit, and then fill up our board quite nicely. They're going to kill our 1-1, but that's fine. And in general, we've kind of won the game here. Opponent isn't very close to their deep. They have no board. We're building a board. Our hand looks pretty solid. Star Shaping is going to be sort of a lame card in this matchup, but it will give us possibly the any sort of finisher. The big elusive will act as a finisher. Remember what any of their names are. Just remember that. No matter what we're drawing, really, with the Star Shaping, we really can use in this matchup to our advantage. Especially if we can Infinite Mind Splitter their elusive. It actually means we might have an out for the late game if we draw like the elusive Phoenix from Star Shaping. We might have an out in the late game. But given our position here, we're able to kill their 4-1 with lucky top deck with Tri-Beam and Probulator. We're able to kill their 4-1 and create a 1-1 unit and create a 3-cost unit or 4-cost unit with Heimerdinger. So here we can use Bastion or Star Shaping. I do choose Bastion because they could have Make It Rain, which would counter the Star Shaping. They also could have Make It Rain, which would counter the Bastion. But Star Shaping does force them to use more resources in the long run. I guess it really doesn't matter which one we used. I mean, yeah, I can't actually see that mattering too much. And here we're going to get a pretty sweet open attack, and they're going to have an answer for it. I mean, they have to have Static Shock, really. Static Shock is probably going to be their best answer. And we can't play around that anymore because we got rid of Bastion. So maybe keeping Bastion was a good play, or the right play. But anyway, guys, if you see our board here and you see our opponent's board, you'll realize how strong Heimerdinger is. The number one tip when playing Heimerdinger is to protect him at all costs, because when you protect him, you're getting units out of protecting him. Your opponent's wasting removal spells, you're countering their removal spells and getting units out of it. Our opponent has wasted so much time, so many resources trying to kill Heimerdinger that they have essentially run into all our counter spells. They have gone no ground at all because they've been spending all their mana on removal, and we've been getting free units, free unit after free unit. And our opponent has been unable to counter anything we've done. And that's the strength behind Heimerdinger. Creating free units when you protect Heimerdinger essentially means that your opponent is not going to have any way to deal with your large board. They're trying to deal with Heimerdinger. You protect Heimerdinger. Your board gets huge. It's too late for them. They just lose. And you can see that effect going on here. They're down to 7 life. We have the Warrior in hand. We have the Infinite Mind Splitter. They're going to try to kill Heimerdinger here. We're just going to heal him up. Like, why not? We're going to take the Immortal Fire because once we play the Warrior, it's going to have exact lethal on them. And they're going to have an answer for that. So Heimerdinger lives. We get the Warrior and the 6 power quick attack. And the reason why we saved Heimerdinger there, in a lot of cases you wouldn't want to, but our hand has no units in it. We have some very big spells, especially Hush. And that just means Heimerdingers can create so much value in the late game that he's actually the only way we can really push in lethal here. The Immortal Fire does work as well, now that we've drawn it, but there was a very adequate reason to protect Heimer. So guys, remember, when you're playing this deck, just protect Heimerdinger. That's the key thing you have to do. And other than that, Heimerdinger is a pretty fun deck. You get 2-for-1 value with each spell. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.